What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for entering into Naturally Jaja's world, where we discuss natural hair and lifestyle content. If this is something that you're interested in, make sure you pause the video right now and go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and also turn on your notifications so you can get an alert when I post my next video. So today in this video, I'm going to be discussing my experience with Lent. I did observe Lent this year. It's observed 40 days, and it's a time of fasting, praying, and almsgiving, or another word is like donation. So I did fast, I did pray, and I did donate monetary and also like clothing and stuff. So I did do that part of Lent. And it also acknowledges the 40 days Jesus was fasting in the desert, and he was tempted by the devil. So it kind of goes hand in hand with the 40 days and fasting, and during this time you will be tempted by the devil. So it kind of acknowledges that time period where Jesus was in the desert for 40 days. So it's a preparation time of the Lord's resurrection. So my sister talks about fasting, or she talks about Lent pretty much often. I believe she's been doing it for a while. This is actually my first time observing Lent. Like, I do fast and I do pray. If you've been following me for a while, and I do discuss it, I do fast and I do pray, but I've never done it for that 40-day period. It may be like 21-day fast, and during that time it's like food. But this time I decided that I was going to give up social media. So I've been talking about giving up social media for a while, and not giving it up, but I needed to take a break from it. I realized that I was sometimes like aimlessly scrolling and just like not even paying attention to what I was taking in. I was just literally just like scrolling, not necessarily like, oh, this is good content, this is bad content. I was just scrolling just because I was bored or idle. And they do say an idle mind is the devil's playground. So I was like, I need to take a step back, reevaluate myself, reevaluate my life. If you see my monthly resets, you know I'm trying to grow spiritually, get a closer relationship with God. I'm trying to stay in my word, I'm trying to pray. So I was like, well, I figured this would be a perfect opportunity to do so. Well, I didn't think it was going to be this hard. So I didn't prepare for this fast. Normally when I fast, if it's from food, if it's from social media or whatever, TV, I prepare for it mentally and spiritually. I think because my sister mentioned doing Lent, like I was like, oh, I need to do it. So I kind of like hopped on the bandwagon, but I should have prepared myself. And even in any other fast, like I should prepare myself before I decide to take that leap, because honestly, I didn't do a good job. So during this time period, literally, so from like the beginning to like the last, before the last 2 weeks, I literally was trying to find a way to get on social media. So I started off by deleting the apps off of my phone and off of my iPad. So that was fine. But then I was like, wow, what do I do to consume this time that I'm not on social media, that I'm not scrolling? So I was like, okay, well, when you're fasting, if you're not eating, you're supposed to be in your word. Or if you're not doing something, you're supposed to be in your word. But I wasn't studying my word. Like, I was literally trying to find ways to get on social media, on Instagram and on Facebook. So it was to the point where I was going through the web to sign on to my Instagram just to check to see if somebody DM'd me or if I was missing out on things. Like, it was really bad. Literally every single day like I was being sneaky, because I already had told my family, like, I'm not going to be on social media during this time period. So you can show me videos or you can send me memes or whatever, but me personally, I'm not going to be on social media. And I really, like, I wasn't on there like how I was before, but I wasn't supposed to be on there at all. So I was really taking time out to find ways to maneuver to, okay, I'm not on the app, but I'm going to use the web. Like, no, if I said I'm going to fast from it, then I needed to fast from it. But I felt like something was missing from me. And that's how I knew that I was supposed to be fasting from social media. That I knew that I need to pull back and draw back and not be on social media, but be in my word. So I was like, there has to be a way where I block myself from trying to sign on the web. I block myself from the apps. I put if you have an iPhone, the whole limit screen time, that didn't work because I really didn't want to like ask my family, because normally when I do pull back from social media, I'll ask my family like to put a password in my phone, and if I need to get on, they can sign on for me. But I didn't want that. I wanted to be able to do it on my own, and that didn't work. I literally had to it was the week before Holy Week, and Holy Week is when I actually took this fast seriously. And I felt so terrible because I was like, what is wrong with me? Like, these people are posting and they don't care nothing about me fasting, so why do I care what was going on in their life? But I felt like I was disconnected from like my friends. I felt like I was disconnected from my family. And I did have people to reach out to me like, are you okay? I haven't seen your hair videos. Or are you okay? I haven't seen you on social media. And I was like, yes, I'm fine. I'm just taking a little break right now. And I'm not one to announce like I'm taking a social media fast. Like, no, if I'm gonna go off, I'm gonna go off. So I did have that, but I just felt like I was missing out on something. And I felt like, oh well, I know this person contacts me through DM, so let me check to see if they need, like, no. If they have my number, they can call. And when I did sign back in, I did let the people know, like, no, I wasn't ignoring you, don't take it that way, but I was on a social media fast. But the last 2 weeks, I had to literally block Instagram and Facebook. I'm not really a Twitter user, so that wasn't bad. And delete my TikTok. So you know you can't really get on TikTok unless you have the app. But I literally had to block my Instagram and I had to block my Facebook from the web. So I had no way of knowing or no way of signing in at all. And I was like, it shouldn't even have to take all of that for me to pull back from social media. Like, it is a huge distraction. And I was like, something isn't right. Like, this isn't right at all. So I did feel a little better when it came down to those last 2 weeks. But honestly, I can really say, like, I successfully failed at this Lent experience. And I'm like, if I would have prepared myself, I feel like I would have been better, like pulled back a little bit. Even if I limited my time, so like not trying to go cold turkey, but give myself some type of grace and be like, okay, you didn't go on social media for this amount of hours, so you get an hour of screen time, or you get 15 minutes of screen time. Like, I shouldn't be so attached to the world like that I feel like I'm missing out. Like, I feel like I was missing out on events, on birthdays, and I was like, people will understand, like, if you missed saying happy birthday to them for this time, like, you were doing something that was bettering you. And I also had my sister say, like, oh, it's so-and-so's birthday, oh, let me get their number, or let me ask them for their number so I can text them if they were close to me, or if I didn't have their number but I wanted to say happy birthday, like, I can say happy birthday, because I do feel like I still needed that personal connection with the person. But overall, I was like, Johnny, you have to do better. Like, you have to do better when it comes to social media. Like, it is a huge distraction. And yes, of course it has its upsides. I'm using it now as a platform. Of course it has its benefits, but at the end of the day, if you're not using it for its benefits and it's just like consuming your mind, you should really, really think about reevaluating like how much time you use on the screen. I definitely, when I get my monthly or weekly screen time, and it's like up 29%. I'm like, no, okay, this week I'm gonna bring it down and not be on social media. And what am I looking at? Like, I really, hair content is what I look at, seeing what events are coming up in my area, but other than that, it's like I feel like social media has just like changed so much since when it first came out, that it's to the point where I'm like, do I even really care what this person is saying, or what this person is saying about this topic, or is it even like facts, or is it opinion? So I really like decided to like scrub my social media, scrub what I was looking at. If it wasn't beneficial to me, I was definitely using the feature not interested, because I don't want that space to consume my mind where it's drawing me or pulling me back from God. During my monthly resets, spiritual goals is the number one, and it's probably always going to be number one, and my prayer and fasting time will always be number one, because that's what my ultimate goal was for 2023. If I don't do nothing else on my goals list, if I'm able to check off and I feel in my heart that I was able to grow spiritually, I'm good. I'm good for 2023 is me. Honestly, I am really good, because that, I feel like once that has been taken care of, everything else will fall into place. The reason I was fasting was because there's a prayer request that I have that I feel like, you know, the word said some things only come by fasting and praying, and I've been fasting and praying, and I feel like this time was like, okay, you're gonna take it serious, you're gonna do what you need to do in order to get what you need. And it's not even getting something out of it when you're fasting. I'm not fasting for a car, or I'm not fasting for money. I'm fasting to hear and get clarity from God. I'm sacrificing something, and it was a sacrifice. I'm sacrificing something in order to hear God clearly, in order to get order and direction. So with that being said, I am going to probably try Lent again next year. I will probably try the whole social media thing again next year, because I do feel like that's something, like, I feel like that is more of a sacrifice than me sacrificing food. And that's what most fasts now are like, you know, biblically they're food based. So it's like, if I'd rather give up social media as my sacrifice than food, and if you know me, you know I love food, something is wrong. Like, even, and I'm not trying to talk down on social media, because like I said before, it does have its upsides, it does have its benefits, but when it's changing my mood, when it's changing my direction, when it's changing my mind and consuming my mind and making me feel like, oh wow, this person is sad, so I'm gonna be sad, or this person is going through this, oh I hope that doesn't happen to me. No, something is wrong, and you just have to know in yourself, and you have to know in your heart when to pull back. So again, of course, during that next time, the 40 days, I probably will do another social media fast. I will probably most likely learn from my, not mistakes, but learn from this first experience, and I will prepare for it prior to, and I'm gonna also give myself a little bit of grace, because I was trying to be so stuck on it and like gun-ho that I was like, if I don't do it, then nothing's gonna happen. If I don't do it, and I keep failing. No, this is your first time. This was my first time. This was my only time really fasting from social media, cold turkey, completely, not like, you know, a certain amount of screen time. So I will definitely give myself some grace, and I will definitely prepare for it. So if you're going through a period of fasting and praying, and you feel like you're failing at it, give yourself some grace, but also learn to prepare for it ahead of time, so when you go through, or when you do have that time of fasting and praying, that you'll be able to do it and not fall short. So if you like this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Also, leave me a comment down below. I want to know if you participated in Lent. I want to know how to go for you, and if you have tips for me to help me with my fasting journey. And also, please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye.